City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 14th to order. And first is the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or changes? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Doherty, second by Councilmember Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Next is council staff reports. I have a lengthy one, sorry. I met with Representative Josiah Hill and had coffee and went over some of our legislative ideas from all of us. And that was on the 27th. I had National League of Cities, Women in Municipal Government meeting, and then had a call with our lobbyist on some of the upcoming legislation. On the 30th, had a Minnesota Association of Small Cities meeting. On the 8th, I testified before property taxes on House File 1051. And then on the 10th, I had National Transportation Committee meeting, and there were several things that came up out of that. And some of it's some good stuff. There's going to be another round of recovery funds coming from federal, and it's going to be it'll be more flexible, so can be used for roads, trails, crosswalks. And then also, the question came up if we had an EV ordinance, and also some of that money could be used for electrical charging stations if we need them in the city. And then today I testified before Climate and Energy. There was something else today too. Tomorrow is House meeting at 10:30, committee, and then capital investment at 1, and then a Zoom call with Congressman Pete Stauber in the afternoon. And then 21st is the corrections, the public safety meeting at the Warden's House. And then the King Plan Advisory Committee is meeting again. And then I'll be attending the Advanced Leadership Program. And then there's two more upcoming meetings for National League of Cities, Women in Government, and then Minnesota Association of Small Cities is planning a meeting with Governor Walz. And then 27th, we have the Lake Elmo Airport Committee meeting, and then okay, that's another one. Oh, and then DEED is going to be having another round of grants come out, and there'll be more information coming on that. And then I don't know if everybody saw, but Commissioner Grove is leaving DEED, so I don't know who the replacement is as of yet. That's all I have, I think. Next is Councilmember Doherty.
I have nothing to report.
Councilmember Johnson.
I also have nothing to report.
Councilmember Liljegren.
Attended the Planning Commission meeting last week. The agenda item was again the Heat Island discussion, parking lot requirements. And I believe those are they'll be coming back next month for public hearing. Is that correct, Eric?
Yep.
And I also will be attending the Lake Elmo Airport meeting on the 27th.
Thank you. Councilmember Ruck.
CVB met last week. They're continuing to work on you might say, the restructuring. We will probably see some proposed bylaw changes at some point in the fairly near future. Middle St. Croix was canceled this month.
Thank you. I did remember two more things. Tomorrow is a hearing for the capital investment from our bonding request. That'll be at the House. And then on Thursday at the Senate, it'll be the capital investment hearing for the bonding bill. So stay tuned. Then next is staff reports. Chief Ansett.
Nothing to report here. Calm, quiet, rainy.
Wonderful. Assistant City Administrator Pinsky.
Mayor and Council Ann Vick at 5691 Oren Avenue North was chosen as our most recent recycling award winner.
Thank you. Next is a visitor public comment section. This is a time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on anything. Come forward. Yes, please come forward and tell us your name and.
Mike Hood, resident of Wolf Park Heights for the last 4 years. I would like to bring back permits or special permits for honeybees. I emailed 3 of the city council members. I didn't get a response. I did email Eric, and he called me back right away and pretty much told me what to do. I'm not sure of everything that I have to do. So hopefully you guys can kind of give me for more of a direction. But I'm in a spot or where I live. I have Valley View Park, I have a prison, and I have public land. I have nothing behind. And I feel that I'm in a spot that's a great place for honeybees, and it won't have a big impact on humans. So if you could, I guess, think
What you
about
can-
it, talk about it.
What you can do is talk with Eric, and he can bring it to whether you want to take it to planning, because that's a zoning or parks or whatever. But work with city staff, and they'll be able to get it where it's going to go.
Okay, thank you very much.
Didn't we start on this at one point?
So,
But it had to do with the fact that the person who wanted to do it was not going to be living on the property.
there is,
See,
if it's okay, I can, is it Mr. Vick? I'm sorry, I forgot. You're like,
Good.
Mr. Hood.
Good.
Hood, okay, I got you. So Mr. Hood contacted me and asked about what is a process to amend an ordinance fundamentally, and it's reaching out to council members or coming here and talking about their concerns, and so he's doing that. But the city ordinance right now precludes, is it apiaries, or I think that's the right term, for beekeeping. And I think Mr. Ronkus, Councilmember Ronkus is correct. It was just south of here, the 9th lift station lift
right, I
edition.
guess it's a-
It wasn't even so much that they did not have a primary residence or something, because it's a vacant site. It's an outlet structure for stormwater. But if I recall, there was the neighbor had a concern with, well, if my child or somebody is allergic to bees, is there a risk, what have you? And so like 7 to 10 years ago, the council put that in place that said prohibits bees. So Mr. Hood contacted me, so well, the ordinance does preclude it. So if you would like that ordinance changed, you have to petition the council for that possibility. So here we are.
And that's what I had heard as well from the city. When I called, they said that it was, first and same thing was, he just didn't take care of them, and he let them become a nuisance. Obviously, it's just like any other animal, you have to take care of it, and so, obviously, there should be special laws or reason behind it, so, yeah.
I'd say just, continue conversations with our administrator.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? And we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is approved bills and investments, check 69021 to 69090 for a total of $408,931.23. Approved city council work session notes from January 24th, 2023. Approved city council minutes from January 24th, 2023. Approved resolution authorizing Ducks Unlimited St. Croix Valley chapter to conduct a one-day raffle on May 4th, 2023 at St. Croix Event Center. Approved license for sale, storage of consumer fireworks at Menards store number 3129. Approved final pay request for in situ form, or is it supposed to be institution form? Tech USA 2022 sewer lining project. And approve joint powers agreement for fuel contract for 2023.
I'll move the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Rock, second by Councilmember Liljegren. Eric?
Councilmember Doherty?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Liljegren?
Yes.
Councilmember Runk?
Yes.
Mayor McCumber?
Yes. Next, we have a public hearing, which is to consider an issuance of a license to sell cannabinoid products at Turning Leaf, Oak Park Heights LLC. Jennifer?
Mayor and Council, Turning Leaf Oak Park Heights LLC either has recently opened or will be opening soon in Oak Park Heights at 5980 Neal Avenue North, Suite 300, and they have made an application to allow sales of cannabinoid products and cannabinoid devices at their location. The public hearing notice was published in the Stillwater Gazette on February 3rd and has been posted at City Hall. The applicant, Beecher Valancourt, is here and present if anyone has any questions. So I turn it over to you.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to talk about this? Please come forward and tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Beecher Valancourt. I live in the area in Stillwater, Minnesota. We've signed our lease and did a soft opening for our Turning Leaf store at 5980 Neal Avenue North. We specialize in wellness, CBD products. We built out a nice humidor. We also do electronic cigarette harm reduction vapor products. I've personally been in the cannabis space on the hemp-derived side of things, licensed with the state of Minnesota through the Department of Agriculture. We extract, we process, and we manufacture an organic certified and food-grade facility in Northeast Minneapolis. And so what we're looking to sell is a variety of our own products and other products that are Minnesota compliant to the current law that stands. We use card readers. We're a 21 plus only facility, and we are an education first, sales second approach on everything that we do. Love to invite any one of you to come check out the new location. Spent a lot of time and money in there, and I think it looks really good. So we're just excited to be able to share some education and alternative products to the community, and be able to provide some answers and some good suggestions. So.
Well, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? Any discussion? Well, then I'll close the public hearing.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we approve the license.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Doherty, second by Councilmember Runk. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
What are your hours?
We are open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then 11 to 7 on Sundays.
Thank you. Next, we have, under old business, consider ordinance amendment related to daycare nursery facilities. Eric?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Your packet has a brief update about the daycare nursery facilities being permitted as a home occupation in your residential zone with the city. As we know, it previously required, or does at this point still require, conditional use permit. And what staff had proposed to you back in November or late last year was options to make that process more streamlined and to eliminate some confusion between permitted uses and when the conditional use permit would apply. The council did forward it to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission held a public hearing in December. There was no public testimony received after the hearing was open, of course. Ultimately, the Planning Commission did support the changes, and so this is brought back to you for final consideration. Again, it's to probably will streamline that process for applicants, be more consistent, and shouldn't change the essential neighborhood perspective of, or shouldn't change the essential character of a neighborhood, because there are limits on number of youth, or up to 12, I believe, in the ordinance, and it shouldn't up to 12 or fewer persons. So from a daycare perspective, it's probably almost a single family can handle no matter what. Much less, they still be required to have their state permits, they still be required to get a home occupation permit from the city, but it just would not require a public hearing.
Any questions for Eric?
Make a motion, we approve the changes.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Runk, second by Councilmember Liljegren. Eric, does that need a roll call, since it's an ordinance?
Yeah, I think it'd be wise.
Okay, Councilmember Doherty.
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Liljegren.
Yes.
Councilmember Runk.
Yes.
Mayor McCumber.
Yes. Next, under new business, we have rescheduled the work session when it was slated for tonight. Does anybody have suggestions trying to get this rolling?
Well, if Councilmember Doherty can't be at our next meeting, should we plan on the first meeting next month?
The 14th?
Yeah.
Yep, that works for me.
Let me double check.
Yep.
Does that work for everybody?
Yep.
Provided
Five
there's
o'clock.
no more hearings at the Capitol?
This would be my caveat too.
Okay. Because the
Five?
way things are rolling right now, I mean, it's possible. 5 o'clock work session on March 14th? And that works for everybody, right?
Yep.
Okay, is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Johnson, second by Councilmember Liljegren, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any other council items or announcements? If not, then we have a closed session, and Kevin, can you explain that?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. We're going to go into closed session at this point to engage in labor negotiations. Labor negotiations are ongoing amongst various unions that are involved in the city staff. The council is entitled to go into closed session pursuant to Minnesota statutes 13D.03, which allows for a closed session on those topics. The closed session will be recorded, and that recording will be kept for the required period of time. Because this is at the end of the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting from the closed session and provide a summary of that at the next meeting.
Perfect. Well, thank you. So is there a motion to go to the closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Johnson, second by Councilmember Doherty, all in favor?
Aye.
Well, thank you.